Plodding but magnificent. Clydesdales used to be a regular sight on roads and paddocks. They ploughed the wheat fields, carted lumber and helped create New Zealand's infrastructure. But now they are literally a rare breed. These Herculean horses have kind of passed their use-by date. Yet their charm, ability and legacy have encouraged groups of people dedicated to saving them from extinction, as Mark Leishman discovered in South Canterbury.
Well, I've always had a passion for Clydesdale horses, the most beautiful creatures with their Ugg boots on, basically. These wonderful horses that used to pull along the bear barrels around the UK and, of course, all the carriages and bullock wagons around New Zealand and carved their way across the country pretty much, I'm sure, before the likes of rail. And I've come to Silverstream Clydesdales, which is in Kimble in South Canterbury, just between Fairlie and Tekapo. And there's some wonderful ones here, and we're going to go meet Susie Izard and her daughter Cate, who have this business all about Clydesdales. Anybody home? Hello, hello, hello. Susie, lovely to meet you and see you and chat and find out a bit more about Silverstream Clydesdales.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
How did it start?
My daughter Kate and I decided that we had a good couple of mares and we would like to breed, and that we needed to make these horses pay for themselves with vet bills and feed and all that sort of thing. Is that right, Kate?
Kate is nodding, not saying a word, so I think I'll have to go across and talk to Kate. So, Kate, what was it about Clydesdales? What was the love you had for them?
I didn't, personally. It was Mum started it. I was the horsey one, not Mum or Dad.
Yeah.
And I had normal horses, actually, which now they are the not normal ones. I had a warm blood, and I didn't really fall in love with them until I was working at Erewhon Station, and I saw their purpose.
Erewhon is a picturesque 15,000 hectare sheep and beef property. It provided the magnificent backdrop for the Lord of the Rings movie, The Two Towers. The station has a large Clydesdale horse stud, and they still use the Clydes, as they're known, instead of vehicles. The team are used regularly on the station to do the cultivating work and tow the wagons.
Yeah, they're probably one of our main big breeders, keeping the breed afloat. Put a lot of time and money into the breed, and they still use them like tractors. They still work the ground up there, and we're just going to try and be a little baby version. You know, they're our sort of inspiration, I guess. We'll never be able to work the ground like they do, but yeah, we just potter along.
They're most famous more recently for their work with DB Beard, the draft horses, weren't they? Because they were known as draft horses as well, were they?
Yeah, draft horse covers various breeds like Shires, Clydesdales, Percherons. They draft, they pull, so it covers a range of breeds. But the Clydesdale, and I think the Shire as well, is an rare breed, an endangered breed. So I think I was reading that there's about 5,000 worldwide, so there's not a lot.
Really?
And that's one of the reasons and as being part of the New Zealand Clydesdale Society, that breeding and good breeding is really important. So that was our focus, especially after Kate learning so much from Colin and Erin.
So your mother referred to you as going to the dark side. Tell us what the meaning of that is.
Colin, who's now passed away, used to tell me off when I'd say I had normal horses. He would say, no, these are the normal horses. So sometimes we get laughed at for being sort of an oddball bunch. We turn up like the gypsy crew, you know, we've got wagons and there's all sorts, and there's a lot that goes with these big horses. So you've got all the gear sort of just, look like the travelling gypsies really. So we've often probably not affectionately been called the dark side, so we laugh and we think it's fantastic, so we're the weirdos, I guess.
Their size is possibly best illustrated by their shoe size. The big steel shoes are immense when compared to the likes of a racehorse.
This is a set of the Clydesdale shoes. So these ones here you can see are the back shoes because they're pointy, so that's how they get their grip.
Yeah.
Is digging in a bit there. They're the fronts. These are handmade. We take the horses sometimes to farrier competitions where they're hand making the shoes to fit the horses.
Right.
They're very big and heavy, and a Clydesdale foot should be shod differently to your standard horse's foot.
So when this is a standard horse here,
that's a racehorse shoe.
Racehorse shoe, which is like it's a Nike.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Sprinter.
Yeah, compared to a big old gum boot. Yeah, so it's a lot of shoe, very heavy.
Yeah, isn't it just?
But We just show ours when we're riding them, because we do, clatter over riverbeds, and when they're in work, they'll have their shoes on. But
How long does the shoe last?
our farrier doesn't like shoeing ours. We always give him beans, so he makes sure they stay on for a long time. So we get about 8 to 10 weeks out of our set of shoes.
So you've got to re-shoe them every...
8 to 10 weeks, yeah. Most people would be 6 to 8 weeks.
And what about your other job? This is not a full-time gig for you as such. You're involved in the dairy industry.
Yeah, so I work for myself as a rural contractor. I've spent a few years working in vet clinics, and then horses take a lot of time, and that's hard to have a full-time job when you're, trying to juggle it all. So yeah, I just work for myself and do a lot of vet tech work, mostly in the dairy industry because that's where there's work. So I've just finished rearing calves, and then I'm about to start an apprenticeship for LIC. Being an AB technician, so we'll see how that goes. It's very hard. So.
That leaves feeding the horses up to Mum. Cate Smith says Clydesdales are the Labradors of the horse world. They live for food and they love their new shed, a special gift.
We've simplified it now because we don't cover them. They've got sheds in their paddocks. Yes. That was Mum's 60th present. Dad said, "What do you like?" She said, "I'd love a horse shed, please." Oh, really? So Mum got a horse shed, a new horse shed, for her 60th. So they don't need covers on. We feed out baleage. We just feed them baleage once a day. And they've got ad lib hay. They don't want fancy food, so that keeps their condition on, and it just makes it a bit easier.
It's only in winter that every day we're feeding baleage, but if we miss out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's mostly just picking up their poo. Yeah. That's a full-time job in itself. That is a full-time job. Yeah.
It'd be great manure, would it not?
Very good.
Mum grows pumpkins. What did you get, about 150?
Pumpkins on, just put them in the poo pile and away we went. And I think they're more sensitive than people think. We laugh because our farrier Jordan used to say they're not sleeping, they're plotting. And they do. They do plot. That Billy out there spent 3 years plotting to wait till there was an open gate, race up the driveway, round here, through the other side of the shed, through this man door, and tipped one of these bins over and started eating. Yeah. And it was just max for perseverance and planning, wasn't it?
How many years was that?
About 3.
3 years.
Of planning. Yeah, watching, waiting.
And they are fast when they go.
They are fast.
Oh,
yeah.
I imagine because they're just an awesome, powerful-looking animal, aren't they? Are they a bit scary when they really get going? Yeah,
you've got to be pretty strict on them. With manners, there's a lot of horse. So, one of ours, we got weighed the other days at the vet clinic, and he was 850 kgs. So he's probably about 900 now because he's a young one, so he's growing
nearly a
up.
ton.
Yeah. So that's a lot of horse, and if you don't have them well mannered, it'll go terribly wrong. But they don't mean to. If you've got good manners, then they're really respectful, and they try their best. But accidents happen, and as Mum knows, she got flattened by a gate and a horse a while ago, just an accident in the wind.
But that was my fault. I didn't notice that the wind had puffed the gate shut on the horse, and gate ended up on me, horse on gate. But Basil was incredible.
You were crushed in between them.
Yeah, but luckily the ground was soft, and Basil did everything he could not to stand on me, so that was incredible.
Well-mannered.
Yeah.
He kept his hoofs away from Mum's
But it was
head.
my fault. It wasn't his fault.
And we've now got a mum-shaped print in the lawn.
Now we're going to meet them in a minute. We're going to start with Billy. Tell us about Billy.
Oh, Billy. Billy and I have a love-hate relationship. Billy's mum's one real love in life, sorry, Dad, but Billy's phenomenal. He's 21 now, and we've had him 11 years. I love him, and he loves me, but I'm the disciplinary one.
Right.
And but he's incredibly cheeky, loves whiskey, loves going into high country huts. He's had about 5 shepherds lined up along his back, and he's hilarious. He's very well. He's not really a horse. He's a person. He's
you could put a child on him,
right.
and
he's placid enough.
Oh, very placid. He's brilliant.
I mean, that brings up a good point. Can you ride them?
Yes,
we do. That was how we started, was riding them, basically.
We ride them more than we do harness work with them.
Yeah. They're great.
What do they like to ride? Are they
fun?
Quite active?
Wide. Very wide.
Yeah. But like a lazy boy recliner chair, would you say, comfort-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
But beautiful paces because they're very expressive. So they have beautiful trots and canters and smooth. They can cover the ground too if you don't let them be lazy. They can really go. Yeah. Yeah, they're good riding horses, and Mum beat me in a dressage competition. I was on my fancy horse, and Mum won on her embarrassing clompy horse.
And then there's Betty.
She is an incredible workhorse mare, and very strong, very powerful, needs a job. challenges Mum a lot.
Made my riding better, that's for
She's
sure.
banned from group treks now because she's such an embarrassment. She's just...
What way?
Oh, God, she'll try and keep other horses away. She's a dominant mare, you know. Don't come near my horses, and she'll jog round, and yeah, so she's banned. She's too much of an embarrassment.
But she did breed Basil.
Oh, she's incredible.
Oh, now Basil is next. Tell us
Yes.
about Basil.
Basil's our first horse that we bred. Basil is huge, so he's just hit 18 hands, and he's just turned 4. And
What's
he's
an average for a Clydesdale?
They should be about 16
too?
hands.
16 too.
They're not meant to be big. A Shire's big. Clydesdales are meant to work in a team, so they're meant to be smaller.
Same size,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shorter,
So
stockier.
18 hands, that's huge.
Yeah. Whopping. He is the sweetest thing ever. Yeah. He is like having a puppy around. He follows you around. You can always tell it's Basil. He sniffs you. You can always hear him sniffing. He's just a darling. So I've just started him under saddle. My first horse I've started, and I can't get on him. I need scaffolding or something to get on. I had to bail off him the other day on a ride, just no fault of his own, just had to get off, and I couldn't get back on. So I had to walk all the way home, get on the big mounting block, and then carry on the ride. So
I imagine they must have a big saddle because, you know, they're much
Wide
wider
saddle.
girth, aren't they?
A wide saddle, really. Not so much big.
wide, very wide.
That is.
Yeah.
So Billy, Betty and Basil. And then comes Xena. Where the heck did she come from? Now she's different because she's not a full...
She's a half, yeah. So she was bred at Erewhon.
But you can see there's a hint of Clydesdale.
Yes, she's
mainly
still
in
got
the-
some
in the
feathers.
hooves that-
Yeah, and she's got a big head, and, you know, she's got the nice nature.
Loves food. Connor is there.
Oh, Connor, of course.
You can explain Connor's role.
Connor's an
Connor's got a
Erewhon
kind of normal
retiree.
name, hasn't he?
Yeah,
He's
he's got a very silly full name, Donnybrook Savati or something very fancy, and he was a leader at Erewhon. There was a sort of team of 4 of them, 4 main horses, and he's come to us for retirement. He's very special. So a leader horse is really special. They're on the reins, they're your steering, they're in charge of your team. He's a very special horse, and so yeah, we were lucky enough to have him. They get him off the station because they get depressed watching the team go out if they can't work. Right. So we can't work him in harness. He's too
good.
Too powerful, too good for us.
And it's softer environment down here for him to have his nice retirement.
So he's allowed to be fat.
Does he realise his mana? Does he realise his position, do you think?
I don't know. I just think he's just a working horse, and he's not fussy. He's
very
behaved.
different to He's a real workhorse. He didn't know what carrots were, didn't know what apples were. Doesn't have a rug on. I put a rug on once and he just wouldn't talk to me for a week. But now he's softened and he appreciates a pat. He's very voice controlled. So if you growl at him, he doesn't like that.
He's also a useful old uncle for young horses.
Babysitter, yeah.
He's a good babysitter because he'll put them in line but not hurt them because he's used to that in his working life.
And do you know much about their history in New Zealand?
Well, yes, they broke in New Zealand agriculturally and made the roads, and they pulled big scrapers that...
So they were here even pre-rail?
Yes, they're the ones that broke the country in and towed the sledges and wagons as they picked up all the stones on the Canterbury Plains and logging. And there's a really awesome poem by Jim Morris that describes it really well, that I read to our clients. And it just describes the role of the, people had one in their household and that children would go to school on, numbers of them, and they would pull the milk carts. I think there were famous ones in Auckland, and just the working horse, the engine. And between the World Wars is when the demise started of breed numbers because of mechanisation and the wars. I think they lost a lot in the First World War, towing, gun whatever, and down to the stage where we are now that it's just keeping the breed alive, really. I love this poem because this explains really the Clydesdale in New Zealand and its history. So it's called The Equine Pioneers. From far Lanarkshire vales they came, the best of the Scottish blood, to haul logs and plough the fields and breast the raging flood. They came from green and ancient hills, from strath and sparkling burn, to far-off lands of swamp and bush, tall tussock and bracken fern. They left their well-loved northern home and braved the southern sea. They came to work with hardy folk in the newfound colony. In Northland's humid, misty hills they hauled straight kauri logs, to sawmills on the river banks through scrub and clinging bogs. The swamps were drained, the tiles laid, the new farms to create, the produce carted to the rail, the cream cans to the gate. The East Coast stations took their wool in wagons through the surf, where lighters ferried tight-pressed bales to cargo ships at berth. They pulled the cables, made the roads, built dams and dredged the sand, dragged the coal in damp dark mines and ploughed the tussock land. From Nelson orchards in the sun, Canterbury's tawny plains, the west coast bush and southland hills, they always kept tight chains. They took the children safe to school and sickness to the nurse. And when the final bell was tolled, they pulled the sombre hearse. So whether in the coal mine's depth or in the foaming brine, in baker's cart or wagon hitched or snigging logs in line, in bustling cities' noisy streets or quiet western dales, in forests dark or open fields, in heat or howling gales, ploughing heavy land for crops or clearing scrub and gorse, carting wool or sweeping hay, salute the Clydesdale horse by Jim Morris. I really love that poem. I think that it puts it in a nutshell.
Doesn't it just? So, Susie, another facet of your amazing list of talents is art.
Oh yes, the landscapes here are mine, and the postcards that we've made to sell to our visitors are mine, which I've really enjoyed because I like the ridiculous side of animals, so they're all quite...
Slightly caricatured.
Yeah, they are, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Maisie, calves, sheep, all the horses, and we sell those, and we just want to sell local stuff. We want to be local and authentic. Everything's done in our wee shop in South Canterbury, basically. So, yeah. So I like capturing the
That's gorgeous.
Oh yes, it's up round the Cass and the Mistake Peak and all around that area, which I really enjoy doing. But I am a bit sidetracked by horses at the moment.
Yes.
And the art market's not as generous as it was. Yeah. But this sort of business is... Oh, that's Basil bashing on the door.
Basil's trying to get
He's trying to get in.
Susie Izard and Cate Smith from Silverstream Clydesdales. And some good news for the team. The day Mark recorded that story, a beautiful Clydesdale foal was born named Violet.